Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. Look, I know we've asked ourselves this question many times before. When is it going to happen for me? When is that breakthrough coming? When is my hard work going to pay off? When do I finally stop struggling? It feels like my hard work isn't paying off. I know, I get it. Because all of these things I've said to myself plenty of times. And depending on where you are in life, we all think like that sometimes. But sometimes we get so focused on the when that we completely lose sight of the what. What are you doing today? What kind of habits are you building? What are you learning from this moment right now? Because your breakthrough is not on a schedule, and it certainly doesn't have a deadline. There's a direction, and that direction is forward. And the only way you're going to continue in that direction is if you continue to go forward. But if you stop or go backwards, you're never going to reach your breakthrough. Now, why am I even making this video? Okay, let's be real. I was at work today. It's March 30th, 2025 when I'm making this video. And I was at work today, and I'm usually always listening to the radio. So I heard something on the radio that was like, really, really good. And I thought, dang, I need to make a video about this. And I don't remember the exact thing that was said, but it was on 103.5 KTU, right? And the host said something about how people are scared to start over. And I thought it was really good because it was something along the lines of like, people are scared to start over because they think that they're too old, or they're scared of being seen as a beginner again. And that shit really hit because I'm like, wow, that is true for a lot of people. You don't want that feeling to feel like you're behind. We don't want to restart, but we want to win. But we don't want to look like we're back at square one. But starting over is not a failure. It's a sign that you refuse to give up, that you still believe in the better version of yourself. The only way you fail is if you give up. If you continue, you will not fail. But the moment you stop, the moment you continue to not do anything, is the moment you fail. Let that sink in. Please, the faucet is dripping. However, like I said, it doesn't matter how many times you have to start over, because eventually you'll win, no matter how old you are, no matter if you're in your 20s, your 30s. There's something I saw on Instagram that really stuck out to me. It was a bunch of people who had their breakthrough moment and what age they had the breakthrough moment. And it was a bunch of people in their like 40s and 50s. And I don't remember all of them, but one that stuck out to me the most was the person who created McDonald's, because he was in his 40s when he finally made McDonald's. And, I just sit and wonder, like, how many times did he have to start over? How many times did he have to hit the reset button before he finally made McDonald's? And the most important part about that is that every reset brings more knowledge. Every failure teaches you something. And every time you get back up, you become stronger, because you're not behind, you're becoming. But when you focus only on the timeline, you start to lose your patience. And when you lose your patience, you risk giving up entirely. Success is never about the speed. It's about staying in the race. Because even if you are not ahead in the race, you will still make it to the finish line. But you'll never make it to the finish line if you give up. Because everybody has a season, right? Not talking about summer, fall, winter, or sundress season. I'm talking about the season of growth, the season of elevation, the season of harvest. But planting comes before the harvest. Before the spotlight comes the grind in the dark. Nobody in their right mind is going to put their all on you when they're not going to be able to see the hustle that you put in the background. Of course, people aren't going to believe in you now. Of course, people aren't going to see the bigger picture right now, because they don't see the grind in the dark. They don't see the hustle that you're putting in right now. You might be in that season right now, the planting season. Nothing seems to be happening. You're putting in all this work, but you don't see the results. But every seed takes time to break through the soil. Some people grow faster than others. Some people take years. But the one who grows slow doesn't mean they won't bloom at all. Stop comparing your season to somebody else's season. Just focus on watering your own garden. Amen. Like, God, can I get an amen off of that? For real. Like, I like the amount of times I had to refocus myself so many times and start over. Like, my videos aren't doing as well as they are. I don't have motivation sometimes. Sometimes I think, like, dang, should I have quit that job that I was working at? And, like, you know, I thought, like, maybe I should just do an entire career switch, which I kind of still am. But, like, you know, every time I felt like giving up, I just reminded myself that I can't choose my time. The only choice I have is the choice to keep going. And that only grows to fruition if you stick with it long enough to see it happen. Eventually something's going to click. Eventually there's going to be a shift. And when that moment comes, once your season finally arrives, you're going to look back and realize that the resets weren't losses. They were lessons. So don't be obsessed about the when. Forget about your age. Forget about the timeline. Forget about what people are expecting of you, because your stories is yours to write. And as long as you're still breathing, as long as you're still showing up, as long as you're still trying again and getting back up every time you get knocked down, it's not too late. You're right on time. Take your time, build your vision, and don't be afraid to start again. Don't be afraid to follow your dream, because no matter how long it takes, you're still allowed to win. And that's where I'll leave it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell so you're notified of videos that I upload. Do anything that you guys can to have my non-existent videos be seen. And with that, Desaya signing off.